Hey, glad you made it back this week. Been a gloomy week so far, and today I don't know how far I'm going to make it. Kind of fighting rain, fighting weather. Uh, it's a cooler day today. It's in the 50s, and this past weekend it was in the 70s. But I think that we are about to get out of this winter, late winter, whatever we call it, because the long range forecast that I saw on the weather the other day actually has it up in the 80s. So this is probably going to be about the end of it for a while anyway. So, what today's video is about is a viewer has commented on a video that I made on repairing power window switches. And he was asking, how do you get the faceplate off the door panel? And actually, I have some tools here. You'll need like the little, you'll need a pick set. Well, you don't have to have a pick set, but it makes it easier. A straight pick and a 90 degree pick, and a Phillips screwdriver. Depending on how much of the wiring harness you can get out of the door panel, you might have to have the stubby screwdriver, or you can get in with a regular screwdriver. One or the other. And it's not too hard. It's a little bit different on each side versus the old 80 to 86, which they snapped in on the passenger side, screwed in on the driver's side. They screw in on both sides on the 87 to 91. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and show you how to do this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get on one side of it, and you'll see that there are little slots cut inside this little cover plate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on one side of it and I'm going to push in. Sometimes you just got to find the, and you have to fish around. There's a spring tang in there. Okay. Now we release that side. Now. Okay, now there's an other side. There's a tang in here that you got to release. And voila, it's out. And you see the springs on the side that actually hold it in place. Now remove the switches. There's a couple of screws. And you take this screw out. And you take this other screw out. Now the cover plate slides right off. Now to gain access to the switches, they just simply plug on to this connector plate. And just grab it and just give it a pull and the switches are off. The power window switch and the power door lock switch are different. They share a similar pattern. But the power door lock switch has a square tab on the bottom that it lines up with a hole in the plate. And the power window switch unplugs in the same manner. And it has a round tab that aligns with a hole in the connector plate. And to replace the switches, you simply just, I'll do this again. Replace the switches, you just match the tab up and just push them in place. That's all there is to it. Okay, now to go ahead and to reinstall the plate. It just slides back in. And there's a screw. I usually start a screw by turning it a thread or two. And this one here, start it by turning it a thread or two. Take the screwdriver. Tighten it up. And it just snaps right back in the door panel. There's no work to it. You just push on each side of it, and it's in place. So that's about all that's involved with the removal of the faceplate to get the power, to get access to the power window switches. I know I've made a video about how to fix those, and I've taken them apart and worked on them several times. I filed little points in them down and everything else, and cleaned them. Really, about the best thing to do is when they don't work, just go ahead and put a switch in it. They're $15, I think. To me, if I could go back in time, I would have just spent $15 because I spent more than that in just the headaches and working on them. So, but anyway, pretty easy, simple task. Didn't take just a few minutes to do. As you can see, the connector on mine was kind of chewed up pretty bad. I'm going to see if I can get a new power window switch connector, and I'm going to order new power window switches for this one, because I've been driving around since 2012 with the harness hanging out of the door on the passenger side. That, and I got to put a door lock motor in it, so I'm going to go ahead and get it all fixed like it's supposed to be, like I intended to begin with. Well, all right. So that's about all for today, anyway. Okay, so anyone out there watching, if you hadn't subscribed, go ahead and give me a subscription. Rate and like, however, comment, however you want. Hope everyone's having a good week. And I will see you all Saturday. Peace out, everyone. And see ya.